This is Mekus with the Continence Club. I am back with another fantastic video. If you're new to this channel, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. In today's presentation, I'm going to dive deeper when it comes to living in the end, the law of assumption that I've been mentioning in my content, just so that you have a better idea on how you can use it in the identity shifting process. With that being said, it's time to demonstrate. So, if you spent any amount of time studying my content, talking to me one-on-one, learning a lot more about manifestation, identity shifting, things like that, then you're in the right spot. And you've probably heard about the phrase living in the end. You've probably been told by me, you've probably been told by somebody else, or you probably watched something else to know about living in your wish fulfilled. You've probably been told living from the wish fulfilled. And if you want to know a little bit more about it, it's simply living from the desired state, from the desired identity that you want. So to assume the feeling of the wish already realized, just again, literally means just living from your desired situation. You know, I talk a lot about going from your current situation to your desired situation, your old identity to your new identity, old frequency to the new frequency, all pretty much encompass the same thing. So it's all about becoming the version of yourself who already has what you want. And so as we dive deeper into this presentation, I want to talk about the problem. And the problem is that you probably turn this into a full-time job. You're overly obsessing over this process. You're spending the entire day trying to force a certain feeling. You're trying to force the feeling state. I'm sure you might be aware that, feeling is the secret, and that thinking with emotion really helps and speeds up the materialization of whatever it is you want to attract into your existence. So you're constantly checking whether you're living in the end correctly, just like that girl that you like in school, at work, or wherever it is, just like that guy that you're interested in. You're overthinking the relationship between you and that person. You're obsessing over whether or not old girl texted you back or old boy texted you back. It doesn't matter. It's about being emotionally detached from the outcome and having that calm, silent knowing that you will get that text back and that you're complete with or without this person. The same thing applies with materializing your new desired situation as well as your identity. So you're monitoring every thought, emotion, and every reaction. Haven't you found out that whenever you keep chasing that guy or girl, they seem to almost be turned off by you and they seem to run away from you? Or vice versa, that person that just seems so obsessed with you, it almost turns you off and you detach yourself from that person. The same thing really happens with your goals. That's the reason why I say, chase the character, because when you chase the character, the goals are automatically going to come. Because when you act as if the law of assumption, if when you live in the end as the character, the identity that you want, you're naturally going to attract what it is, because you are this person. It's going to be a matter of time before you attract everything that comes with being that individual. So you see how it's starting to make a lot more sense now? So the thing is, you become frustrated because it feels exhausting doing this all the time. You're overly obsessing over living in the end of the law of assumption. You find that you're not even making much progress, although you feel like you're thinking so much about it. Ironically, I want you to understand that the harder you try to live in the end, the harder it becomes. And just like how I said with relationships, the same thing applies. It's all interconnected. So one of the biggest mistakes you can make is believing that living in the end means pretending. No, 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 no. I don't mean pretend, right? You don't need to walk around acting like you're that millionaire, or you don't need to convince yourself that circumstances don't exist. You don't need to force fake confidence every second of the day. Living in the end is much simpler than that, actually. Like I said, it's all about being outcome independent, but also having that silent conviction, that knowing that whatever it is that you want is already yours, because creation is already finished. So that alone should give you that encouragement in understanding that you can bring into existence that person that you want to become. It's about identifying with the version of yourself who already has what you want and simply asking one question in this process, which is, how would this version of me think about my life? Literally ask yourself that question right now. How would this version of me think about my life? Because let me tell you this, human thought has the ability to manipulate physical matter, as you may know, through the power of your imagination. You might have already known this. You might now starting to know this, but the truth of the matter is everything stems from thought. You know, the computer, the phone that you're using to watch this content, the headphones that you have, and you might be on the drive, that car that you're driving in, everything started from thought. This physical existence has been brought about through some sort of non-physical influence, right? So think about it. How would this version of yourself think about life? That's it. Not what they would own, not what they would post online, not what they would tell other people. All of that comes after thinking about your life. So let me ask you, how would that person think, right? So the easiest way to live in the end is to just make your future feel normal. The thing is, you're making the future feel hard. You're making the things that you have to do hard. But all you have to do is reposition it in your mindset and see it as something that's not hard, but something that's normal. Because I could be doing the same thing that you're doing. And you might have heard me say this already in my content. I can literally be doing the same thing that you're doing right now, and I can love it while you don't love it. It's all about perception and how we see what it is that we're doing. That's really what it comes down to. So you're putting your next level on a pedestal. You're putting new identity on a pedestal. You're putting the desired situation on the pedestal. You treat it like it's some incredible event that's going to change everything, when in reality, it's all about you first in the way that you think about it. You act as if the future version of yourself is a completely different species, like it's out of this world, like it's so outside of you, when in reality, it's part of you. It is you. It's who you are. But really think about it. If you had the business you wanted, would you wake up every single day shocked by it? Probably not. If you had the income you wanted, would you spend every second of the day obsessing over it? Probably not. If you had the confidence you wanted, would you constantly be thinking about confidence? Probably not. It would feel normal, and that's the goal. You wouldn't be thinking about it so much because, yeah, it's just like anything else. Yeah, it's just part of you now. That's how you have to operate when I talk about living in the end. It's just part of you. You already know you have what it is that you want, right? The way that you feel whenever you have it is how you should be feeling right now when you quote unquote don't have it. So you struggle with identity shifting because you're secretly worshiping your future self. You place so much on that future identity that it almost feels impossible to reach. The successful entrepreneur becomes a superhero, right? The confident version becomes a fantasy. The disciplined version becomes someone they'll become one day. Like it's so high up for you that you almost feel unworthy of it, although you know that you want it and you're doing the right things. But as long as you don't have that self-conviction, how do you really expect for your desired situation and identity to really start to show? You're just creating more distance between yourself and your future identity. It becomes so hard to embody it. So instead of seeing your future self as extraordinary, start seeing it as natural, just the way you wake up to go brush your teeth in the morning or go get the mail. They're not better than you. They're simply you without the limitations. That version that you see in your mind that you sit around thinking about every single day before you go to sleep, when you wake up, while you're at work, right? While you're with your family, when you're doing anything, that's just you without the limitations. So whether you're trying to grow a business, transition careers, build an audience, or create more freedom in your life, you probably already know the next version of what you would do. You know it. You know what you should be doing. You know what you should not be doing. I don't really even have to tell you. You're smart enough to understand. You know what it is. You know you have to stop that bad habit, that vice. You know that's what's holding you back, you know? So that version of yourself is already executing. They don't think twice about execution. They follow through on what they say that they're going to do because it builds up self-conviction, self-trust, and the world is going to trust you back. God is going to trust you because you trust yourself. They keep promises to themselves. Do you keep promises to yourself? Let me ask you that. You know, that version of yourself that has everything, they stop waiting for perfect conditions. They trust themselves more. The question isn't whether you know what to do. The question is whether you're willing to make that behavior normal right now, every single day. And so this is why I always say it's time to demonstrate. That's why I always come back to demonstration. You always hear, oh, here this guy goes again about saying it's time to demonstrate. I say that for a reason. I'm not just saying that to sound cool, although it does sound cool. But I really mean that. You really have to be out here demonstrating, right? Most people try to think their way into a new identity. You're sitting down thinking about it all day. But now let me tell you, how far has that taken you sitting down thinking about a new identity? Identity shifts happen much faster through evidence. Every time you act like the person you're becoming, you make that identity more familiar. Every time you wake up early, every time you drop that vice, every time you stop that bad habit, every time you say no, every time you make that right decision, your subconscious mind is taking note of that. Everything goes seen. There's nothing that goes unseen when it comes to your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is literally the reality that you're living, literally. Because the reality that you're living is just a projection of what's going on inside of you via your subconscious mind. So every time you follow through, you make that identity more believable. Every time you raise your standards, you make that identity more natural. Eventually, your subconscious stops seeing it as your future. It starts seeing it as your present, because all you do have is now. One reason living in the end feels difficult for you is because you keep checking reality just as much you keep checking iMessage. You keep checking for that text back. You keep checking for that notification on that job update. You keep checking notifications for whatever it is, and then you find that the process is happening slower. You keep looking for proof, and that's what's going to slow you down in this identity shifting process. Don't look for proof anymore. Become the proof. Let me say that again. Don't look for the proof. Become the proof. You keep wondering when it's happening, if it's happening. You keep asking whether you're doing it correctly. Imagine planting a seed and digging it up every single day to see if it's growing. Of course it's going to be growing. You have the nutrients in place. The sunlight's going to take over. Trust the process. And this is what you're trying to do with identity shifting. You keep digging up that seed that you planted. Keep checking on that seed. No, you need to know that the seed is going to germinate. It already has. It's already been written. The constant checking slows everything down. The person living in the end isn't obsessed with proof. They're just focused on embodying. They're focused on demonstration. The next time you catch yourself wondering when your life is going to change, ask yourself a different question. Ask yourself, what would the normal version of me who already has what I want operate? What would feel normal to the version of me who already has what I want? And then demonstrate that. Not tomorrow, not next week, today, because the goal isn't to convince yourself that you have arrived. The goal is to become familiar with the identity that naturally creates the outcome so that it's drawn to you. So living in the end becomes incredibly easy when you stop treating yourself, your future, like a fantasy. So stop putting your next level on a pedestal. It's only hurting you. Start to see eye to eye with that next level. Stop worshiping the outcome. Stop obsessing over whether you're doing it right. Make your future feel normal today. Make your standards feel normal today. Make your success feel normal today, right here, right now. Make your next level feel normal, because that's what's really going to make a difference. Because the moment your future identity stops feeling extraordinary and starts feeling familiar, the shift begins to happen automatically. This is Mekus with the Continence Club. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I have resources in the description for you to check out. Don't leave this video without checking out the resources I have for you in the description. I know identity shifting is something that you feel like you're alone doing, and I don't want you to feel that way anymore, because I know what that feels like, and I know we're all spread out in this world, and we have to come together and really have to make the most out of our potentials that we have here to realize. So with that being said, I'll see you on the other side. Until next time, talk to you soon.